AITA for not wanting to give my stepcousin my new dress? My 16F whole family, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, is attending a formal event in a couple of weeks. My stepcousin, Jen, and I are the same age, and her dad married my aunt when she was 6. Jen's dad doesn't make a lot of money, so Jen didn't have a lot of things growing up, and my mother would always give my old things to Jen rather than throw them away. Especially for formal events, which we all attend quite often because of my grandparents. My mother would always take the dress I'd worn to the last function and give it to Jen so that her dad didn't have to buy one. As we're now older and not growing, I now only loan the dresses to Jen. I assumed it would be the same this time. So a few days ago when Jen and her family came over for dinner, I took Jen upstairs to give her the dress. Jen saw the new dress I had for the event and asked if I would loan her that one instead. She said she'd never got to wear a dress everyone hadn't already seen me in, and it wasn't fair. She always had hand-me-downs. I said no, because I'd bought the dress to wear to this event. I was being nice to lend her a dress. She doesn't get to demand it be the new one. Jen and I were arguing and eventually the adults got involved. My parents stick up for me and said I don't have to share the dress. But Jen was very upset and her dad took her side, saying it wouldn't kill me to wear one of the many other dresses I have and just let Jen have the special one for once. I then said if she wants a specific dress he should buy it, not try and take it from kids, which set him off. The parents are now fighting over this dress drama, and part of me thinks maybe I should have just loaned Jen the dress. I love that dress and I was excited to wear it, which is why I didn't. And my parents say I absolutely shouldn't. But I don't want everyone to fall out over it. AITA for not giving her the dress? NTA. Jen's dad is out of line. As is Jen. You have already been generous. If they are coveting new dresses, they need to save to buy them. It sucks for Jen, but she is also old enough to get a job if she wants a new dress. NTA. The real AH here is Jen's dad. I can understand Jen wanting the dress. It must be difficult for her to never get a new dress. You are totally right to want to keep your dress. But Jen's dad should make an effort. Take another job, work overtime, or even borrow money for once be able to offer this to his daughter. It's good that your parents were on your side. NTA. She is not entitled to your stuff. No matter how much money your parents have and how much money her parents don't have. Your aunt and her dad are trying to bully you, and I hope your parents hold firm. This is your dress, not hers. If you give in, trust me, you will resent it forever. And the entitlement will never ever stop. Remember this. Doing things to keep the peace means one thing. That your feelings mean nothing and that the other party's feeling mean more than yours. NTA. I feel for Jen, but you aren't the reason she's never had a new dress. Her parents are. Of course her dad immediately was on her side. It's making him look terrible, not you and not Jen either. Please try not to be too hard on her. She's wrong to want to wear your stuff before you do, but she's also hurting. She's had nothing but hand-me-downs her whole life. NTA. You don't need to give up your new dress when you've already been passing over and sharing your dresses for years. There's no mention of your aunt besides her marrying Yen's dad. Is she still with him? Does she work? Why can't she help pay for Yen's dresses if it's her parents' fancy events? Why is it on your and you parents? Heck, why aren't grandma and grandpa springing for a new dress every once in a while? Maybe even as a 16th present. I feel for Jen, somewhat, because she never gets to wear a dress that hasn't been seen before. On the other hand, these are nice problems to have. I got to say, She goes to fancy events and wears fancy dresses all the time. Who cares if they've been seen before? I've worn like 2 or 3 fancy dresses in my whole life, and one was my wedding dress. You all have a nice life, including Jen. What your family members want is for themselves to get all the moral feelings of superiority and generosity of helping Jen get a new dress, without their having to give up anything at all. They are basically going to get their feelings of superiority from bullying you into give up your dress. You would be the only one giving up anything. This is clearly ridiculous. If the family want Jen to have a new formal dress, they are more than welcome to all chip in some money to buy her one. If not, they should all leave you alone.
NTA.
NTA. And I really doubt everyone will remember the dress. If her parents care so much, her mom should learn to sew and alter it. NTA. It is your dress. You bought it, or your parents did, for you. Honestly, it sounds like your cousin's family is upset they can't provide at the same level. And it's making them feel bad, and they are taking it out on you and your family. Sorry, it's a tough situation for you. Less than 3. NTA. Stop loaning Jen any dresses. Let some adult, Jen's dad, stepmom, mom, or your grandparents buy her a dress. Or maybe Jen can get a job. Since Jen picked a fight and tried to take your brand new dress, she lost her borrowing privileges. You are not Jen's parent. You don't need to sacrifice your happiness to promote hers. Man shrugging, medium dark skin tone. NTA. NTA. Talk about no good deed going unpunished. You do not have to give up your new clothes to your cousin. Much as her situation is unfortunate, but the entitlement her is outrageous. Make sure your bedroom is secure so they can't just come in while you're not there and take it. Your aunt is the asshole. No way I would let my husband make demands of my niece. NTA. Not sure where you live, but in my country there are many organizations that collect formal wear that's only been worn once by the buyer and make it available for young people experiencing financial disadvantage. Perhaps it's time Jen and her dad explored those options. There are also often beautiful items worn once or sometimes not at all for sale on online market places for much less than the original price tag. You don't have to be her personal wardrobe provider. NTA. If fallout happens, it isn't over the dress. It's over a bunch of other stuff, and people are using the dress situation as a scapegoat. You were right in what you said. If Jen's dad wants her to have a new dress, then he needs to find a way to get her one on his own. I understand where Jen is coming from. That must be really hard and sad to feel second-rate always wearing someone's hand-me-downs. Plus, people likely know it is a hand-me-down since it is always after you've worn the dress to a party with the same people. But none of that is your fault nor your responsibility to fix. NTA. There's cheap places to get dresses. They could get her a nice new dress but chose not to. NTA. I bet her father suggested that she ask. NTA. I do feel for Jen though. If there are a lot of these formal events and you always have a new dress, I'm sure she feels self-conscious about the hand-me-downs. It's entirely possible someone has said something to her or in her hearing about it. If people do remember the dresses, they might compare her looks to your. That is of course not your fault or your responsibility. But it's something to think about. Have Jen and her parents never heard of thrifting? eBay? Facebook Marketplace? You are not Jen's only source for a dress. Now that you aren't growing, you also don't need a new dress every occasion. So the well's going run try for Jen anyway. NTA. It's not your fault that Jen's family can't afford new dresses. As you said, She is lucky that she is able to borrow from you. No one else gets to dictate that you should give her a new dress. NTA. You have been kind in lending her dresses all these years. If her dad is so concerned about Jen having something new, then he can finally buy her a new dress, given that he has saved so much money over the years. Getting free dresses for Jen from you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic AITA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.